Hey, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel, whichever may be the case for you. My name is Matt. I am clearly an old man, as you can now see on the screen. Hi there. And I do like ranking I-DLE's discography. This is a K-pop discography that I actually, until this year, didn't know that I needed, but I really do. And it's excellent discography. Every song has been fabulous. There are no skips on any of these songs, even though I do have to rank some of them higher than others. And sometimes that's really hard. Sometimes not quite as hard, but let's take a look at what I've got right now. So far, Oh My God is still my number one, although that's a very recent addition because songs just seem to keep getting better and better. You'll notice as I scroll down slowly through this list that you'll see the names of some tunes that you will not find reviewed here on YouTube. That's because they are extra posts on my Patreon. All extra ranking posts that I do on Patreon are free. You do not have to become a paid member to see them. I encourage you to use the link below in order to find them, or the link in the description below for my Patreon in order to find them and to join in on the fun, seeing how I came to these numbers. Although they won't have been the same numbers when you see those posts because they've been a little bit. And that brings us to what we're doing this time around. We're finishing up the I Trust mini review with Maybe because we've already done Lion and because we're not going to just do the English version of Oh My God. Anyway, let's get to Maybe. Okay, I will put the link for this lyric video as well as the link for the audio supplied by I-DLE on their YouTube channel in the description. Please be sure to give everybody their love. Also, if this is your first time here, I do talk over the tops of songs. I do pause songs. I do sometimes play into this thing. And that helps me determine what the chords are, which is part of my ranking system, and also allows me to be able to put them over my head later when I'm editing the video so that you can keep score at home as to what chords are being played. This is the way that I do things, and if that's not for you, I totally get it, and I understand if you're going to leave. But if you do leave, thanks for sticking around to this point. Let's get into Maybe. Here we go. Ooh, fade in. Ooh, bell sounds. Love that kind of synth. It's so piercing. Ooh, love that bass too. Oh, new bass. Okay, I'm trying to determine. Oh, I love that. There's so much tension in this. And another complete change of textures. Oh, okay. So, I don't know if that's the beginning of the chorus, if that first one was the beginning of the chorus, or if it was the end of the verse. But I want to point out the name of the song is Maybe. And I pointed this out a couple of songs back about how the producers for this group, mostly Soyeon, I would imagine, and composers, really do a fantastic job of making the music reflect what the lyrics are saying. You can put good lyrics over the top of any kind of song, really, but to have music really harmonically tell you what's going on lyrically is very cool. This whole thing's a big question, right? So there means there's a lot of tension. And how is that represented musically? Through what I call cluster chords, where a whole bunch of notes are pushed together, especially in that first part of the first verse. It seemed like there were notes clustered together all of the time. Mainly, it seems like we're in E minor. Again, we've been in E minor a lot for I-DLE lately. But it seems like the G and the A those two notes. And that's tense enough by itself, right? Just those two notes kind of clustered together. Feel it. But then when you stack, those notes stay the same for every chord almost. E minor to D, and man, what a tense chord this is. Because it's got the F sharp, the G, and the A in it all together. And then, even better, we'll one up you. The bass goes to a B, and I honestly can't tell you if this is supposed to be labeled as a G major 9 chord over B, or if you want to think of it as just a B minor 7 with a G with a flat 13 added. Lots of numbers. It don't matter. But listen to this sound. It's beautiful, but at the same time, it's so tense. And then to relieve that tension, they go up to the C chord. But even that has tension in it because the B is back, and that creates a C major 7. I love the enduring tension in all of this. And lyrically, it looks like, it's saying, well, I might not. In the meantime, you just have to wait and see. And it's the waiting and seeing that is the tense part, right? Wow. So well done. And then when Minnie's saying, everything just goes out, which is a whole different kind of tension, because it doesn't feel like anything has been defined, and it's just hanging out there with lots of space. I love how the bass is coming in on the ands. Oh. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Those 16ths in the bass, that's where the tension shifts from being in the chords to being in the bass. That is really, really excellent musical sound design. So good. I'm not a fan of the kind of almost vocal chop part, though. This time the E note is the one that's staying the same the whole time. I love also the way that the drums are used with this thing. It's not hitting on beat 2. It's just hitting on beat 4. Boom, boom, 3, 4. That's when the snare hits, or the claps, or whatever sound that is that's representing a snare. And in the verses earlier, especially at the beginning of the song, everything was you had all of the accents that would have acted kind of like a snare on the ands. 1 and 2 and 4 and 2. I love all the different ways they're creating tension with this. It's so cool. Now the B note of their singing is the tension line. Oh. Oh. So that bridge. Again, the melody is now creating the tension points, although there's tension in those chords too. A G, probably add 9 to a D, maybe with the G in it as well, but over an F sharp in the bass, and then to the E minor, and then to, I think it's a G major 7 over D. And then to the C, to the D. I think. Is that what it was doing? C, yeah. The tension finally got released there. When that melody note goes to the F sharp, that's the first real release of tension that we've had this whole time. Man, this is just beautifully crafted. And back to the E minor. Okay. That look. That line right there, the lower octave of it almost sounds like a vocal chop. And it's kind of staying out of the way of the range of the melody itself. So I'm not having as much of a problem with it, but I am not a fan of vocal chops. If you've been around this channel anytime soon, or for any length of time, then you know that I'm not a big fan of that. However, as long as it doesn't usually get in the range of the actual singers or becomes part of the big feature, this is kind of becoming part of the feature of the song, which is a little bothersome to me. But other than that, and that's just my personal taste. It's fine for most people. It's even cool for most people. I'm just weird. So I'm not criticizing the song for having it. I'm just saying that's not my thing. Wow. It's a 3-minute song, but there's 4 minutes of video here. It says thank you for watching, so I'm gonna assume the song is over. That's interesting because I think that musically it does some things absolutely perfectly. In terms of creating tension, in terms of helping to tell the story of the lyrics musically. At the same time, I'm not a big fan of that instrumental part. Hire a guitar player to do that line. I know. I'm just always I'm always advocating for live players, and I'm sure that some of it was done live, but for the most part, I just would have rather had a guitar or a synth line other than the vocal chop in there, or what felt like a vocal chop. Maybe it was a synth line, but it's too close to a vocal chop and it's bothering my ears just a little bit. Again, that's just a personal choice. That's nothing to really criticize the song. I'm just saying how I would do it differently. All right, let's rank this thing. This might actually go on a little bit of a journey for me, simply because that instrumental part is such a big feature for this. And while that bass line really works for me, the rest of it really does not. But I already know that it's not going to go above Hear Me, so let's start there. I like the La Ta Ta Queendom version better. I like Love You better. I like Minnie and Lily doing Eyes, Nose, and Lips better. I like Minnie doing Confetti better. I like Uh-Oh better. I like Dollar better. I like the original La Ta Ta better. I like Give Me Your better. What's in your house? Sometimes I have to sing songs in order to remember what they sound like. What's in your house? Which is very unfortunate for you. I think I like What's in Your House better. I am going to rank it above Follow Your Dreams. Again, the thing that really works for me with this song is the fact that there's tension in those lyrics, right? Will I, won't I? But the idea that that chop is there, or that whatever that instrumental is, took some points away for me, and that's the only reason it came down here. If they had a guitar playing that line, it'd probably be up over uh-oh. I'm not kidding. That's how much of a difference it could make. But that's where I would rank it. Tell me if I'm crazy for ranking it there one way or the other. Am I crazy for ranking it too high, too low? Tell me in your comments where you would rank it. I would love to hear from you on that. Or if, and this is something that Neverland is so good at it, is offer me extra insights into this song, where it comes from, the story behind it, who came up with it and why. Tell me those kinds of things and in the comments, because I'm always grateful for them. Y'all know your groups very well, much better than I will ever know your groups. I'm just basically ranking the chord progression sometimes, or the production, and the vocal performances, of course. But I love that. And I want to remind you also that we do have lots of extra I-DLE content and other K-pop group contents. All of the K-pop groups that I cover on this channel, we have extra content for them on my Patreon as well. If they are extra ranking posts, like for instance, the Help Me song here from the Her Private Life OST, you will not find reviewed here on YouTube, but you will find it reviewed in an extra free post on my Patreon, and those ranking posts are always free, because what's the point of having a list if everybody can't access it, right? Other stuff I might charge you for because I need dentures, but not ranking posts. So thanks for being here. If you want to leave the video a like, or if you want to hit subscribe, nobody around here is going to shun you for it. And we'll see you next time for, I don't know, but I'll be here next Sunday. I promise you, I will be, with something. We'll see you then. Bye.